My husband just denied a favor on his birthday after I moved mountains to make it a good day for him. Our marriage might be over. I moved across the country with him. We uprooted our lives, our children, because he's been an aimless software engineer with no ambition for years. It was either move with this company or he'd have to find a job again, and he's awful at job searching. I tried to encourage him to look for better positions. I edited his resume. Shit, he even had an in with 2 companies through family friends, companies that could have valued him and fulfilled him, but he just never did the work. Couldn't be bothered to send a resume. Nope. So we moved 3,200 miles away from everyone we've ever known so that he wouldn't have to job search. I'm so alone out here. I get no time to myself. We have 1 car, so I have to carefully coordinate around his work schedule, which is chaotic, and even when I do everything right he accuses me of taking him away from his work. He works 9 to 10-hour days already, never takes lunch, but 20 minutes to switch places with the car is unreasonable? What am I supposed to do with 2 kids at home? They need enrichment. Our area has poor public transportation. He makes it work but complains about it at least twice a month. Am I supposed to never leave the house? He also blames all of our financial problems on me. He doesn't lift a finger for household supplies or issues. I do everything for him, for our kids, for the whole house. So yes, it's me swiping the card, but his idea of budgeting is making a spreadsheet and then denying any upward progress we make, and using that spreadsheet to tell me I don't care about our future and I'm ruining us. Even beyond his selfish bullshit and his inability to be a teammate and work on our issues, he has just become a mean person. He insults everything I do at some point. I try to make plans, he complains all the time. I try to not make plans and he complains that he's bored or overwhelmed with the kids, which is insane, because he is literally never alone with them. I do 95% of childcare. We had been in a really good place after we moved. We were excited about our new lives and for 8 to 9 months things were really good. A little bickering here and there but communication was better, he was loving, our sex life was back, we did things as a family. I truly had hope for our lives. Then he took a business trip, where he was wined and dined, praised for his work, got 7 days without having to take care of anyone but himself, and he came back mean. I asked for 10 minutes and he laid into me about how delaying dinner meant delaying bedtime, and delaying bedtime meant one of our kids would wake up earlier and struggle, which she does half the time anyway. Since he's been back it's been a struggle. He went from thanking me for keeping things clean and managed, to nitpicking every little thing I do. The worst part is almost that I know it's not like he cheated. He did FaceTime the kids and I often, and he's got the social skills of a particularly quiet goldfish. If he had met someone else and something happened it would explain all this. But he went away, told us how much he missed us and couldn't wait to get home, then came home an absolute a-hole. I told him a few months ago that I was feeling so alone, that he has changed. He denied everything, turned it all back on me, argued that he wouldn't be so grumpy if he didn't have to resent the kids and I for using up so many of his resources, aka his time and money. His money? His? It was a joint discussion for me to stay home, it made no sense for me to keep working, but that's another thing. He seemed to eventually recognize that he'd been neglectful, even said so himself. But he still just shuts off like a switch. I don't ask a lot of him. Normally I take care of 85% of the cleaning, 95% of childcare, and do all of the planning and calendar management. I ask him constantly what he'd like to do, if he needs time to himself. He never says anything and then resents us because he won't take time for himself? He's almost 40, I do everything else, it's not my job to make sure he has exactly the right amount of time for his hobbies. I try to ask him what he'd like for his birthday, he says a house with an attitude, like I'm personally draining his bank account without a care. I'm the one holding him back. Right. I'm the one who gave up my career and my support system and moved across the country. Tonight might have been the final straw. Birthdays and holidays are touchy subjects. He never does anything for me. I get a card most times and that's it. He'll ask what I want and then get me nothing. I can't even manage to get time to myself out of the situation. Or he'll let me make a plan and then he'll complain the entire time and ruin it for me. But still, because I know he's capable of being a good husband and a good guy, he has done it before, I try to do a little something for him. Father's Day, his birthday. I keep it inexpensive, which he prefers. We might cook at home or go somewhere inexpensive. I get him a useful but fun gift. I get cards and get the kids to sign them. We get him cake and sing happy birthday. All of the shit I wish he did for me. I know he's stressed and I know what my game is like, so I hinted that since he'd had an off day at work, we could have a nice night in and I'd give him a treat later. He seemed happy about it. I have to keep trying. I know he's capable of being a good partner. I can't just give up. I rushed around to meet his crazy schedule so he could get back to work on time. We did cards and cake and candles, I did my hair. We did the whole dinner and cake, we sang, he seemed off the whole time. Not really happy. Complained a fair amount, not directly, but he's got a pretty obvious sigh. The kids are finally in bed and we settle in to hang out. Watch some TV, we're talking, he's relaxing. He talks about his stress and I'm upset but not going to tell you how kind of way, which I hate. I ask him what we can talk about or do. I try to reassure him on a few points, but I can tell he's determined to be miserable as usual. I try to offer a favor again, one last-ditch effort for a happy birthday or some stress relief. He passes. He notices I'm a little upset and I say I tried so hard today. He said I appreciate what you did today, but it's not enough to fix this mood. Maybe next time. And that's it. He says goodnight and goes to bed. So here I am, exhausted and humiliated on my husband's birthday, because I tried to give him a good day despite the shitty ones he gives me, tried to please him because I know at least he's usually up for that, and he just says nah and goes to bed. I try to tell him when we argue, we're a team. We need to fix this. He says he resents me. Resents us, this family that he helped create, that he wanted too. So, if I can't even make a move on him on his birthday, and if he can't even communicate what's wrong until right before bed, and he doesn't seem to like me much anyway, WTF am I doing here?